Here we are coming into the bushfire season, but there are still 30 mandated professional firefighters in Victoria locked out of their fire stations for more than 2 years because they refused to take an experimental vaccine.
We have that cohort that are either stood down without pay, on their own leave entitlement, so exhausting their own personal leave, or they have lawful exemptions but are still not permitted to work. The last known required dose of any firefighter in Victoria employed by Fire Rescue Victoria is March 2022, which ATAGI have listed in their fine print. Any perceived efficacy is limited to 4 to 6 months.
As I understand it, Fire Rescue Victoria, this is the mob in charge of firefighters, have a risk assessment, and that risk assessment, which they sought, acknowledged the risk of COVID vaccination side effects. Am I right in saying that?
That is correct.
It's a risk assessment. There we are. So there is a risk in being vaccinated. They nominated myocarditis, pericarditis, and thrombocytopenia. So who produced this risk assessment report?
This was produced in a reactionary fashion back in April of this year after WorkSafe Victoria investigated the agency in question for unsafe work practices. So this document was meant to be, once it was authored, under OH&S legislation, it's meant to be published to the workers that it affects. And you have the lunatic position where not only was this thing suppressed, it was requests for it were denied, even from WorkSafe themselves. And then it's taken until about October of this year to actually acquire that document.
So you've got a risk assessment which shows Fire Rescue Victoria that there were side effects associated with vaccination and have nominated those side effects, and yet they are still saying you can't work because you're not vaccinated. Am I right?
That's correct. And then you can't forget the last line on that document in the section that you're referring to about side effects. Complications may arise which could injure the vaccine recipient up to and including death. There are individuals within the organisation that are still employed, but they are on work cover for what's happened. They have been vaccine injured certified by specialists and they are on work cover for these things, yet we are still expected to take them to be compliant.
Oh, this is beyond belief. Look, a stupid and dumb question by me. Where does this socialist Victorian government fit into this?
Look, there's many ideas. There's associations.
You just drew breath there. Hang on, stop, Josh. You just drew breath there.
Yep.
Are you at risk of being punished because you're speaking to me?
I'm already wearing a very large target and receiving threats from certain people within the organisation for speaking out, yes.
Free Australia, eh?